at the LebanonStar.
Yes.
And I am here with two wonderful ladies to talk about something that is, for one, near and dear to my heart. And that's all about art, but all about art in a very, very special way. I am here with Crystal and Molly.
Yep.
Molly, I believe you are the curator and founder of Beyond Vision Art, correct?
Correct.
And Crystal, who is definitely also a part of their nonprofit, is, here's the Lebanon connection, she is a Lebanon graduate.
You
And I
graduated
believe
from Lebanon High School.
Lebanon
Yes, I
High
did.
School, and I believe you are 2000?
Yes.
2000, and she actually graduated with my oldest daughter, Maggie.
Yes. How is she?
She is wonderful. And you know, interesting enough, when I love talking to different individuals, and I actually had the opportunity to reconnect with Crystal at Carly's Cookies.
I hear you're a big fan, and you do like to go to Carly's Cookies every once in a while.
I
So
love Carly's
we
cookies.
connected at Carly's, and she began to talk to me about the nonprofit and all the things that are happening. So we wanted to bring you on today. And Molly, will start out with you, just kind of talking about how you formed this nonprofit, what it's about, and then we will then talk about a big event you're going to be having.
All right. So the easiest way to describe Beyond Vision is we are an organization dedicated to providing multisensory art to the visually impaired. So what that means is someone like me or Crystal, who are both totally blind, can walk in to the gallery and we will be able to smell, touch, taste, or hear anything in there. And I started that, we started in 2022 because I had recently lost my sight. I lost my sight completely in October of 2021. And I was really bored. And that's one thing that you learn very quickly is it's really boring to be blind. So I couldn't go, I couldn't go to art museums anymore, and I love doing that. So I decided to make my own gallery. And I asked in my neighborhood Facebook group, I said, does anybody think this, this is a good idea? And the next day I had an interview with the Dayton Daily News, and WHIO was calling, and it just kind of blew up from there.
And you feel taking something that became very challenging to you, losing your sight, and kind of your own personal experience as to what can I do to allow myself to become engaged in a different way, and how to make that happen. So how did you connect with Crystal? How did that work?
Well, we were at the Renaissance Festival. My boyfriend and I were at the Renaissance Festival. And he sat me down on a bench so he could go to the bathroom. And Crystal was there with her dad. And Crystal's dad sat her down on a bench so that he could go look for his phone. And we sat there and didn't speak for at least 5 minutes. And when Paul, my boyfriend, got back, he realized that he noticed that I was sitting next to a blind girl. And I said hello, and we started talking about Beyond Vision, and here we are, and that's been 2 years ago, or three?
3, yeah. It
3
was
years?
in 22, because I was supposed to go to your fall show in 22, and I didn't make it. But that's when we met at the Renaissance Festival that month later.
Okay, so
it's kind of a chance.
yeah, we just accidentally met.
Chance meeting of two young ladies sitting on a bench, realizing both the challenges and connecting on that. So Crystal, how does that feel to be a part of something I think so unique, something very special, and in some ways, really kind of making a difference.
Yes, like Molly said, I can't just go into a museum. They don't let you touch stuff. And I can't see it. So what's the point of going to look at a bunch of paintings and sculptures that you can't touch? And so having multimedia median art is very important for the blind community, especially because it gives us a way out, and we can feel it, we can touch it, we can taste it, we can smell it, and we don't necessarily have to visually see it to be involved and actually know that it is art.
So did you have, when you were thinking about this, did you have an experience that drove you to this? How did this idea come to you?
Well, we were driving around looking for something to do today, and we live very close to the Air Force Museum. And Paul asked me, he was like, well, let's go to the Air Force Museum. I thought, well, that's not going to be any fun. And it just kind of built from there. I realized I couldn't touch anything anymore, so I had to do something to change that.
So for someone that isn't really familiar with, let's say I walk into a gallery, how describe what you would do? Kind of take us through that. So you're going into a gallery that allows you to touch, to feel, to taste. Educate all of us on what that would be like. What could somebody experience? So I'll use myself as an example. Let's say I go into that gallery and I close my eyes because I want to be able to experience what you experience. What would I do, and how would that be like for me? Kind of take us through some of that.
Well, we actually do have blindfolds for sighted people.
Okay.
So you can get the full experience. I always recommend to a sighted person that they go through once with a blindfold and once without a blindfold. But you'll go in and someone will help you to a table, and you just, as far as like touching the art, there's so many different textures, and this was a very hard question.
Yeah. But you're doing
great.
You're doing absolutely great because
Yes.
So somebody comes in and you'll sit them down at a table and the art is brought to them?
No, you walk through.
Okay.
You walk through the gallery, and there'll be art on the table, art on the walls, and
Which you can touch and feel, but the art may be visual via surfaces.
correct.
But it could be also sound. It could
Yes.
be it could be smell. It could be taste. So what would be an example of something that would be a smell?
I had a girl today actually ask me about being in our next show, and she makes candles.
Okay.
In our very first show, we had a woman that was there, and she was deep frying chicken wings. So we got smell, taste, and sound from her. What else did we do with smell? We had essential oils, and we had I had a Fruit Loop scented oil, and then on the table in front of them, there was a bowl of Fruit Loops. And then there were other things too. There was like lemongrass, and I had a bowl that had some grass and a lemon in it. And they would smell the oil and then try to find the corresponding item on the table. So they smelled the Fruit Loop oil, and then they had to find the Fruit Loops.
So how many events have you had?
We have had 4 shows.
Okay.
4?
Yes.
Yeah.
4 shows. And in the same location, or do you travel and go to different locations to do your shows?
Our first 2 were in the same location, and then after that we've gone to 2 different places. We liked to travel around at first, so that we could bring it to as many people as possible.
Yes, absolutely. So you have a show coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about that.
That is going to be the first show in our brand new permanent gallery.
Oh, and where's that located?
That's going to be in downtown Dayton.
Okay.
And the show is in September. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be better than any one we've done so far.
Well, because you've probably, through all your different shows, have begun to figure out how to even make it even better.
Oh, absolutely. The very first show we did, we started planning it in February and we had it in April, and we had no clue what we were doing.
Yeah.
And we started out, a lot of things were very arts and craftsy. And last year's show, as Beyond Vision is getting more recognized in the art community, especially in Dayton, last year's show we had so many fine art pieces from local Dayton artists, and it was less of an arts and crafts show and more of an art show.
More of a fine arts.
Right.
More of a fine art show. Hey, Crystal, have you ever thought, I know you're getting you said a permanent space,
Mm-hmm.
You'll have a permanent space, but how fabulous would it be for you both to bring a show to the Lebanon community? Would be wonderful. Like
You got a space here to use it anytime. I think that would be cool.
That would be so amazing.
We
to
can
be
absolutely
able
do that.
Yeah.
Come to our community, Crystal, and do
Invited in.
and yes, that'd be really fabulous. I think
Yeah.
it's your hometown and
Exactly.
expose, and we just had a fine arts festival here this last Saturday. Arts are very important to us, and I love your name, Beyond Vision, Beyond. How did you come up? I love.
It's a great name.
That is such a powerful name. I love that. How'd you come up with that?
I don't remember.
You don't?
I don't remember if my boyfriend came up with it or if I came up with it. I just remember we started calling it Beyond Vision Art.
But it's
It's a great name.
Thank you.
It's just a fabulous name.
Yeah.
Because, as I said, as an artist myself, I was an art teacher here in the Lebanon schools, and I find the arts are so extremely important, and to be able to take a look at the arts in a way that we normally don't take a look at it.
Right.
And so it's so powerful, and that is so the two of you, in terms of losing because Crystal, you did not you lost your vision later in life, correct?
Yes, I started losing my vision when I was 19, 20, something like that. And it was my peripheral vision. And I was running stop signs and I couldn't see traffic signs. And so I told my mom, I think I need to go to the eye doctor. Well, I went to the eye doctor, and then he sent me to Cincinnati Eye Institute, and then I went through a surgery and some eye injections, and then I got a new retina specialist, and it's called retinitis pigmentosa. But actually, I went and saw a genetics doctor, and they're starting a genetics trial here in probably about a year to try to get some of my vision back.
But
But yeah, I lost it fully when I was 26.
yeah.
Now, are you an artist yourself?
I used to be. I haven't done arts since I've lost my vision. I've tried, and I'm like, I can't draw a straight line. I mean...
Don't worry, it doesn't take someone without vision to not be able to draw a straight line, because I can't draw at all. My stickmen are curvy.
Right.
I always told students in my class, I never want you to draw a straight line, so don't worry about that. So, do you do art, Molly?
I do not.
Yeah.
I loved it. I have always loved art, but no.
No.
So you have to gather these artists. So how did the conversation come gathering these artists together?
Yeah, how do you do that?
I put out calls on Facebook, and I'm very well connected in the art community in Dayton anyway. But I put out the calls and I run Facebook ads and just reach out and connect to as many people as I can. Last year we had a lady all the way from Canada submit a piece to our show. So we get our name out there. We get it out there.
And you have a Facebook page.
We do. It's Beyond Vision Art on Facebook.
Okay.
And you have a website.
So again, if you're out there listening and watching, you want to go ahead and go to Beyond Vision on Facebook. So just search for Beyond Vision on Facebook, correct?
Beyond Vision Art.
Beyond Vision Art, and that will get you to their Facebook page. So go ahead and like their Facebook page.
Yes, please.
Now, this Dayton location, so it's going to be a permanent location. Where is it?
It is going to be in Liberty Tower, which is at 120 West 2nd Street.
Okay, right downtown. And then will there be a charge for someone coming in?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
There's no charge to come in, and there's also no charge currently to submit your art.
So how's that happening? Because it does take money to have a location and a place. So how's that happening?
Well, we actually just placed second in, it's called the Flyer Pitch Competition.
Okay.
And it's put on by the University of Dayton, and it is a pitch competition. You go 3 rounds, and you pitch your idea. We were in the nonprofit track. So you pitch your idea to some panelists, and each round is longer, and they decide who gets to go forward, and we won $7,500.
Okay.
So that's going to get us in our space for a year.
Great.
Wonderful.
And then we also do grants through the Montgomery County Arts and Cultural District. And we dig into our own bank account a little bit here and there.
Yeah. Now, are you going to be still looking to do these at other locations then, as well as the downtown Dayton?
Yes, we want to expand to other locations, and we want to do a traveling show.
Okay.
So we want to, there are less than 5 multi-sensory galleries in the United States.
Where are those 5 located?
I don't know.
Okay.
There's one in like Wyoming or Colorado, I think. That's the only one I know of for sure.
Are you the only one in Ohio?
I'm the only one in Ohio.
Well,
Okay.
So,
We get the East Coast.
yeah.
You get the East Coast. That's great. I think it's a great idea. And I do like the idea of going on the road to turn around. That's going to have its own challenges because every environment may be a little bit different.
Right.
For example, we run a coffee shop here. And so you walk in, if you would walk in, you'd walk in into the coffee shop. You're going to hear the sensory, the sound of the coffee, and then you're also going to smell the coffees, coming in. And so depending on where your location is and what your location is, it may start with a sensory, but then you've got to try to figure out, well, okay, now how do we incorporate the art into
Right.
that component? And so really, really excited to see what you guys are going to be doing in the future. And I think it's some great ideas that's there.
and I would really love to give us the date again and location of your next event.
It will be, the opening will be Friday, September 14th.
And it's
Or the-
definitely on your Facebook page.
It is on our Facebook page, yes.
Okay.
And then the show will run through October 15th.
Okay.
Okay. And so the show the show is going on at a location. So after October 15th, they can't come see it at the.
They can still come to the gallery. That
Okay.
show will not still be up, but we'll have other pieces up.
Okay.
The gallery will be open. It just won't be this specific show.
Okay. Now, if somebody's out there and they are an artist and they want to submit, they should contact you via Facebook as well.
Yes,
Okay.
on our Facebook page, and I respond very quickly because I really don't do a whole lot.
Okay.
So please send me a message.
So
Great.
I could, as an artist, donate a piece.
Absolutely.
I think now we've got to be looking for what's the right piece for you to donate
the,
now.
the right piece to do. That
Yeah.
would be amazing.
Yeah, we'd
Yes.
love to have
That would
something.
be great.
Yeah, that would be. That would be wonderful. It's just you're right, figuring out the particular piece that I think would, and I just need to go on your, I've already liked your page, actually.
Thank you.
I'm already following after Crystal, I'm already following your page, but to kind of take a look and kind of figure out for myself how I could contribute and be a part of that. I would absolutely love that.
We'd love to have you.
Thank you so much. And
I love the story because here it is. You just about how you two met, but also this came out of boredom.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
it is so boring.
And I don't think people would realize that it's that experience, unless you're blind. And so you've brought awareness to the fact that that would be, but you've created this really cool thing for other people to experience, and I think it's a really, really cool thing. And I think it's a cool thing also for the artists to be able to turn around and be able to communicate in a medium that will be understood by someone who's blind. And I think that's a really, really cool thing, and that's a different piece of artwork. I'm sure Amy's head is, wait a minute, everybody's always looked at my artwork and turned around visually respected it, but to do it in a medium where people can respect it and without being seen, that's a cool challenge.
I'm already sitting here thinking.
Her brain's going, I can see her brain moving.
Thinking out of the box as to what I do and some of the other things that I do that I think would be pretty cool. So you, for one, are getting me to think out of the box a little bit, and kind of visualize things in a little bit different way.
Yeah.
I like that. I like being able to do that. And then for somebody to experience it in a different way. And I still would like at some point for you all to do a show here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That
We would love
be
to.
so wonderful to do that. I think there's so much potential, and out of challenges that you experience later on later in your life, what you're doing to really make a difference. And you really are making a difference for others that share your same challenges, but giving some of us, who in many ways, sometimes a lot of us take for granted
Our sight.
For granted what we have.
Yeah.
And to
I know I
be able
did.
to be able to have a better understanding of where you are and what that's like for you. Kind of thinking beyond ourselves.
Right.
I'll use this. Visualizing beyond ourselves.
Yes.
Which goes back to your very powerful name of your organization. We really appreciate you being here and kind of helping us understand, and
We look forward to having you guys have a show here in Lebanon.
Yeah.
And we'll
Yeah.
figure out
We'll
figure out to make
we'll
that
all
happen.
work and figure
Let's
out
definitely do that.
a way to do that. So thank you so much
Thank you for having
for
us.
coming and being a part of this. I love this. We love it. And this is what the Lebanon Star does. It
Did you
highlights-
ever think that this would happen, graduating Lebanon High School, that this would be something that you would do?
I had no clue that after graduating that I was going to go blind and meet my best friend at a Renaissance festival sitting on a bench.
Yeah.
And become the director of engagement. Crystal is the director of engagement of Beyond Vision Art, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. So what a really, really cool thing. And I guess we'll have to give some kudos to, we actually know the queen, of the Renaissance Festival. She's actually a neighbor of mine.
Oh, nice.
And so we will have to tell her this story and tell Queen Connie a little bit of this story. And she'll have no clue of this. And it's kind of a cool thing that's kind of
It's a
come out of
really
this.
cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
So we
So-
thank you for having you guys on.
Thank you for
so
having
much.
us.
Thank you so
And,
much.
I'll look forward to seeing you at Carly's Cookies.
Yes.
And at some point bringing a fabulous show to the city of Lebanon.
Absolutely.
So Molly, Crystal, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you and all the work that you are doing to make a difference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Lost in your hometown.